Good morning, everybody. We're back here at Greenville Senior High School, home of the Greenville Green Wave, at the IMTV studio and Channel 5, Wave Channel 5. I'm Mike Maloney for the Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library. Thank you for joining us. We're here for episode 9. Very excited. Episode 9. We've got 9 episodes in the books already. Getting better all the time. Keep watching our episodes. You'll progressively see we're doing better and better every day, especially if I can get the words out of my mouth. I got somebody very special today. I've promised I'm always going to have good examples of veterans that never stop serving. I've got a good one today. And it's another 4 weeks in a row we have a Greenville alumni. Again, don't like to steal thunder, so we're going to get right to him. He's a good friend of mine. He's also a relative. He's married to my cousin. Okay, without further ado, Tony Cruz, thank you very much for being here, sir.
Good morning, Mike.
It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Please start, Tony, by telling us everything you can tell us about yourself. Well, where you came from, where you went to school. I know you're going to tell us you're a Green Wave, and where you served. Everything you want to tell us, and then we'll talk about what you're doing now.
Sounds great. I'm, like you said, 1983 Greenville grad.
Woohoo!
Retired Master Sergeant, U.S. Air Force after 21 years. Married to Angela Oda, who's a 1987 grad. Now she's Angela Cruz. Grew up in Wayne Lakes. Mom's name was Claudia Cruz. Still lives in Columbus. Dad's name Roger Cruz, and unfortunately he's passed away at this time. Like I said, I served 21 years in the U.S. Air Force as a medical administrative specialist. I did everything from budget analyst to handling insurance, and most of my career was wrapped up in computers, information systems, about 12 plus years. Retired after.
So so you handled the computers at like hospitals and aid stations and such?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. 2005, I was deployed to Balad Air Base, Iraq. It's about 50 miles north of Baghdad, and I was the chief medical information officer there.
What year was that?
2005, 2005. January 2005.
Okay.
6-month deployment, and I was responsible for everything from all the computers, the phones, SINGARs, which is mostly used by the Army, HF, which is high frequency radios. The SINGARs were used because we had choppers coming in, and the maximum lead time we could get a report when those choppers were coming in to our doctors so they could prepare for those patients was crucial. So we did a lot of work to make sure that we were getting those choppers 5 minutes plus out. So It's very good care for our soldiers, that's for sure.
SINGARs is the radios that the Army typically uses. I don't even know what the acronym stands for anymore. You know?
No,
not anymore.
No.
I could later if I study for a board, but and you. I know you shared some pictures with us.
Correct.
And hopefully our folks at IMTV can show them right now. I think there's one of a sunset, and there's one of you sitting in the.
The one of the sunset is actually our hospital. We were still in tents at that time, so all of our docs and nurses and techs.
It's a nice picture.
Yeah.
Nice picture.
And that's one of the Blackhawks leaving after dropping off some patients.
Right, yeah.
And then
Did you take that picture?
Yes, I took that picture.
That's a really nice picture. Yeah.
The second picture you're talking about, me standing in my full battle rattle, which means you have your full combat gear on. I'm standing in Saddam's palace down in the green zone.
Yeah, I've been in that palace.
Yeah.
I've been in that palace
Absolutely.
too. Yeah, I recognize that. And then there's a picture of you and my cousin.
Yes, Angela.
All right.
Down at Siesta Key Beach.
All right. Hopefully we get all those put up right now while we're talking. We're working on all these aspects. The great part of what we're doing here is the students get to learn, we get to record veterans. It's a great deal. All right, please continue on. Then we talked about your service in Iraq. What else are you proud of with your military service?
Well, I mean, besides having 21 years and working in the medical career field, the Air Force gave me the opportunity to get educated.
Yeah,
I've earned my bachelor's in business, and I just finished up my master's in healthcare informatics.
Master's with who? What school?
SNHU, Southern New Hampshire.
Awesome.
And gave me some great opportunity to see different places. I've been places, Hawaii and Japan, Korea, like I said, Iraq, landed in Germany, landed in Ireland. I mean, there's been multiple places. And
where were you in Germany?
We just landed in Ramstein on our way into Iraq.
Yeah, right on, Ramstein. And then you said you were in Hawaii?
Yeah, had an 8-year tour at Hickam Air Force Base, Hawaii.
8 years in Hawaii, that must have been terrible.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yes.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah. Okay, and now you did information systems for
Correct.
medical, which prepares you for what you're doing now. Please, this is the meat of it. Please tell us what you're doing now. Tony does something very special that helps the VA with their waiting list low. Please go ahead.
Okay, well, fancy name, interagency program coordinator is what my title is, but I'm strictly a liaison between the DoD, Wright Pat Med Center, and the VA, the entire VA for the state of Ohio. Now we've branched out Indiana, Kentucky, and Michigan. Our job is to try to eliminate some of that wait list that you hear on the news and all the bad publicity that's been going on about the VA. They're working very hard to get those patients in, and we're working hard to help them get those patients taken care of. So in last year, Wright Pat Med Center in May established a master sharing agreement with the VISN 10, which is the entire state of Ohio, the VA system. And we're going to start taking their patients, outpatient and inpatient, on their specialty cares for orthopedics, cardiology, other specialty cares that we have available to them. We can't say everything's available because it's based on capacity and capability.
Space available.
Correct. I mean, we still have TRICARE Prime patients that have to come in and be seen, but we are working them in. And like I say, we went from 30 referrals in June of this year, and now we're up to over 200 a month. So, I mean, we're seeing an outstanding number of patients run through our system. And we've made it very easy for them. We're setting up a 1-year card, a 1-year pass, so when those patients come to the front gate, they get fingerprinted, they have to have a background investigation, that's just security reasons, and then they're issued a 1-year ID card so they can continue their care without being interrupted. They can come right through the gate. And our patients are coming as far from Chillicothe, Cincinnati, Dayton, wherever there's a VA center or a CBOC, we'll take care of. That is the,
I got to get you with the acronyms. People may not know what those are.
I know, but I don't know what it is.
Well, can you explain what that means?
It's a small outpatient clinic.
Okay.
That's all it is. It's a little branch from the VA.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's just a little clinic. They can't do any specialty care. They usually see the patient for minor illnesses, and then they refer them. And they refer them to the larger VA.
Okay.
And if the VA can't take care of them, we will.
Okay.
We do a number of total hips, total knees, cardiology, plastic surgery. We can do just about everything there. We won't be their primary care specialist. Their PCM, primary care manager, will take care of them at the local VA. We will see them for all their specialty care, as many as we can get in, and as many services as we can offer to them.
Wow. Wow. So the idea is to use medical treatment facilities like Wright Patterson Hospital to help fill the waiting list. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
And you're basically the liaison between that, right?
Correct. Yes, I work with all the VAs, all their directors, all the administrators, and down to the level where they're actually making the referrals to our facility. I help facilitate all of that. We have quarterly meetings with all the VA directors. We just got done visiting Cincinnati, Chillicothe, Columbus, and Dayton VAs to see what other services we can provide to them. How can we make it easier for them to get their patients there? Mm-hmm. So we're constantly working with them. We're constantly having quarterly meetings with all the directors, finding out how we can make this system work. We are the first DoD VISN-wide sharing agreement anywhere within the VA or the VA.
This is the only place where this is happening.
Correct. This is the very first
Wright
place.
Patterson Air Force Base is the only place
master
they're trying
share for the VISN. There are other sharing agreements between VAs and DoD hospitals. There's some in Tampa. There's one in Louisiana. There's some in Vegas. And Alaska also have the sharing agreements out there with the Air Force hospitals and the VA. But ours is the entire VISN. It covers 4 different states. And 500,000 patients out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Who thought of this? Whose idea was this?
I have to give, well, it's kind of been out there and been working through the Air Force and DoD, but Lieutenant Colonel Lesnick, my current boss at Wright Pat, was the real architect for this Wright Pat VISN-wide agreement. And we've had some great staff. Our Commander, Colonel Ballard, has been very supportive, and all of our administrators, all of our staff have been very supportive on bringing these patients in. It's not just great for the patient, you know, they get an improvement in their timeliness of being seen, but for our docs, the currency, and currency meaning I get to do a surgery. You don't get a lot of that out of your healthy force. Your Air Force members are 21, 22-year-olds. They don't need a total knee or total hip replacement.
Right.
So it's really great for the readiness of our technicians, our docs, our surgeons.
Right, it gives them practice.
Gives them practice when they go downrange.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
and they're deployed. They're going to see what it's like to see a knee completely being demolished and taken care of. I mean,
and restructured and so forth.
Correct.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's pluses both ways. And that's, you know, that when I heard you talk about this, I applauded that also as far. I'm even more impressed with it that this is the only place where this particular is being done like this. I mean, there's other sharing, like you said, but is this the only Air Force hospital that's actually instituting this program? And this is going to be a best practice to be used later? Are they going to expand this?
We're not the only Air Force. Like I said, we're the only one that's done it. VISN. VISN is the Veterans Integrated Service Network. That means there's one central hub. Cincinnati is our VISN.
Right.
And they handle Kentucky, Indiana, Michigan, because they just absorbed VISN 12, and Ohio. So all those VA centers that fall within those states are managed by the Cincinnati VISN branch. And we're able to outreach to all of those patients within all those facilities if they need us. Of course, they can refer to VA and things like that. But we are the only one that's gone that large. And we are being very closely scrutinized by
people
Congress.
are watching you, right? I hope.
VA.
You're being like the test case, I think.
We are.
Awesome.
We meet.
It's great to hear.
We meet about I think it's about every 12 weeks, and we do a progress report to see where we're at. And they're giving us a lot of leeway to make this program work because it saves money. I mean, we saved VA 25% on every one of their patients instead of sending them downtown. We give them a 25% discount. I know it sounds funny because it's federal money, but there's two separate federal pots, so we have to transfer that money over. But we give them a big discount.
Right.
And they get great care. And the patients love being in the atmosphere, being around other military members. It makes them very comfortable.
I have to tell you, Tony, the way you describe it, it sounds very good. It's something we're being smart and reasonable about, and we're going to save money. And of course, I understand that if Wright Pat does services, they should get a chunk of VA's money for doing that. I get that completely, but to me, it's just so smart. It just surprises me normally, and that they've reacted to this to get patients in there. Now, on the user side, on the veteran side, Tony, if you would, if there's veterans out there that are frustrated with the VA getting in and so forth, who can they contact? Who should they get after if they're having a hard time getting in there? I mean, you may not be the guy to ask for this, but who can we ask?
The point of contact, where you want to start at, if you've got a referral out there, if you're needing to be seen outside the VA facility because they don't have the service offered, you need to contact your NVCC, that's your non-VA care coordinators.
Non-VA care coordinators.
Yes. Those individuals are the ones who get the referral from your PCM and then send you out to the system. Right now you're under a new system, it's called HealthNet. It's a Choice Act, as you guys call it on the VA side. It has not gone along as smoothly as they'd like, and they really like using the DoD service because we do offer quick access. We can usually turn around and get your appointment made within 24 to 48 hours. We'll call and get your driver's license information to get you on base, get that pass process started. There's tons of things that we can do on our side, but start with your NVCC, and then we'll start handling from there.
Yeah. And when did you go in the Air Force? What year did you go in the Air Force?
1985.
85. So that's just a year after I went in 84. And I'll tell you, back in 84, people complained about the medical service with the military.
Oh yeah.
And now, and this is a tribute to the medical profession and the military. Now it's like the premier service. The reason I say that is because I remarried. My new wife, when she got into the military medical, she thought it was the best thing ever. You know, like you said, no waiting times, very efficient. You know, run very efficiently, and which efficient means cheaper. It's just to me, the whole medical, the military medical realm has gotten better in the 20 years that I've experienced it. What do you think about that?
We still don't come without our struggles. I think we got some very good docs, great technicians, great nurses. I think our biggest problem is not being able to fill all the positions we need. My vision of this VA DoD sharing agreement would, Dayton VA, for example. I mean, that could be an outpatient or an inpatient rehab center for not only mental health, but all the injuries that are taking limbs and things like that, and they need a PT and the OT, and build up Wright Pat to kind of take the workload away from the VA. But we don't have enough docs to see every one of their cardiology patients, every one of their endocrinology, every one of their ENT, dermatology. We'd love to be able to do that. Unfortunately, we get constrained by the Air Force because they only give us so many personnel.
Right.
But the VA does help us. I mean, we're being looked at, the Wright Pat is being looked at maybe being downsized because we weren't filling all our beds. But I can tell you last week we filled every single bed in that hospital.
Oh, yeah?
And with the help of the VA, bringing in 10 to 12 inpatients. We're getting I get notes every day, patients being transferred from Chillicothe or Columbus. Hey, I've got a VA inpatient being transferred, just to let you know.
Right.
And it's nothing to have 8, 9, 10 VA patients in there. And we have a Fisher House, which is right on base. I mean, if those patients have surgery and don't have any means of any place to stay while they're there, and they're coming from Chillicothe, and they stay at the Fisher House that night, they do the pre-op that day, go to the Fisher House, which is all free. Their meals are free. Their room and board is free. Everything in there is free. It's all donated. They get up the next morning, whether they have a ride, their spouse came with them, or sometimes I have to personally go pick those veterans up 5 in the morning and get them over to the surgery. They come over to the hospital, they get their surgery, they recuperate, and then they get their ride back from the VA back to their home. But we have a lot of services available that we can really, really extend to the VA. We just need to really get the word out there and get the people talking.
Yeah.
I get nothing but great feedback. I just had a lady on the line yesterday. Her husband had a total knee done. I asked her, I said, how was your care? And she says it was outstanding and we love it here. I said, spread the word because we're here and we're here for the long haul.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, what a great program. What a great program to actually, there's so many people out there complaining about stuff, but they actually do something. Is completely different than complaining, because anyone goes, oh, well, this stinks, but to actually do something about it is awesome. And we appreciate everything you guys are doing there. What else would you like to tell about your program? Anything else? Or is that about it?
That's about it. I mean, again, you hear all the Fox News stories, CNN's news, the VA's doing bad, this, bad, that, but they're never emphasizing the good.
Right.
Like this DoD VA sharing agreement. We're out there trying everything we can to get as many of those patients in to see us and take care of them and get that vet taken care of. The veteran what he deserves, what he's earned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for your military service, and thank you for never not serving.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in here. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching. Check out more of this VA stuff and help us out with this. It seems like a program that should be expanded, in my view. Next week, we're going to have somebody talk about another great program. Judge Dennis Adkins from Montgomery County Court. He started a honor guard for the VA cemetery here in Dayton. But we'll see you next week. Thank you all.